This video teaches you how to use the U5 content management system. How to access the CMS. In the browser, open the web page that you would like to edit and double-click its upper left-hand corner. For example, you will want to change the year 2005. The double-click opens the content management system. If not previously logged in, you are prompted to enter your username and password. What's that you see here? The left column contains the preview in which you cannot write. The center column is the editing window. Here you can change the number to 2004, after which the change immediately appears in the preview. This is a Save button. It's got a star as long as there is an unsaved change on the page. You can always click on this P for Preview to see the site as displayed in the browser. Voila! Our change is now live. You can see that this page exists in several languages. German, English is still empty, French already exists. You can create these language versions independently. If a language is missing, the page is displayed in the fallback language, which is the first language on the list. How do you create a new page? On the right side, you have the so-called repository. You can find all your pages under P, your images under I, your documents under D, and your videos under V. E stands for external links, S for special features, and A for account management. Let's go to P to create a new page. I'm clicking on New. Then, the new page must be named, for example, a new test page. After typing the name, the system runs a check to see if the name is already in use. If not, it returns name is available. Very good. I'm clicking on Insert New Item, and our new page, a new test page, is now available and being displayed. Now I can compose the page content. How do you format text? You can find all formats here under I for Insert. For example, there are headings. The main heading is written between 4 pairs of brackets. You can now enter a heading and write the text below. How do you add images? The images are stored here under I. Move the cursor to the image of your choice, for example to this one here, Stefan Minder. Click on the arrow and insert the picture. Look what's happening. The preview is updated immediately and the image is referenced in the editor with single brackets. This referencing is system-wide, so regardless of whether it is an internal or external link, a picture or a document, single brackets are used. How do you upload a new image? Click on New and name the new image a new test image. Again, the name must not have been previously used. Name is available. Insert New Item. Now you see a new test image listed with a red U, which means that no picture has been uploaded yet. We now upload an image by clicking on U, and you can see that 3 images can be uploaded, 1 for each language. This makes perfect sense when the image contains text, which must be translated. Also, all 3 language versions of the picture go under one and the same reference name, a new test image, which is conveniently independent of languages. If only one image is required, since no text has to be translated, just upload the image by using the search button here at the top. Select the picture, which must be in the JPEG format, and the picture is uploaded. Now we can close the window. We place our cursor here and insert a new test image. Here it is. As you can see, a new test image has been inserted but lacks a caption, while here there is already one, and here it's missing. The caption is entered in the metadata of the image under M. The metadata are made up of the alt text, the short caption, and the long caption. The alt text is the text that the system will read out to blind visitors of the page. The short caption will appear below the small picture, and the long caption is displayed on enlarging the image. We are saving the metadata, and now you can see our short caption here. You can also see that the images have been placed side by side, even though they are referenced here in the editor, one below the other. To make them appear that way in the preview, you can insert a paragraph under I, already uncollapsed here, which causes a line break, so that the following picture or any other content moves down. Same thing with videos. First, let me delete these images. I'm going to V for videos. There is already a video here, which I'm inserting. Again, it is referenced with a pair of brackets and is displayed in the preview. Of course, the video is playable. You notice that this video had a black startup screen. If you want to show a still image instead of the black screen, upload a picture and name it exactly as the video, but make sure to prefix the name with a V. In our example, the image for the startup screen must be named vvideo1. I'm creating the respective placeholder vvideo1, and the system returns name is available. Then insert new item. Here it is listed alphabetically, vvideo1. We go to Upload, Browse, and select the image. Then we are saving the content before we surf to the page with P. Now you can see that the uploaded image is displayed as the startup screen, and I can start the video as usual. This video has metadata too. In our example, there is already a small caption disk. Let's see where it's located, namely under M for metadata. Here you see disk under long caption, where we can write something more meaningful. And there it is, the video caption. Whether you want to insert PDFs, PowerPoint, or Word documents, it works exactly like with other editions. You click on D for Documents, create a new placeholder with New, and click U to upload up to 3 language versions of the same document. Here we have a placeholder already. Let's see what it's about. In this example, sure enough, 3 language versions of the document have been uploaded. This file too can be inserted by clicking on the right arrow here, upon which the preview window just shows link. In the editor window, you can overwrite the text left of the colon with something more descriptive, for example, cookbook, and immediately the link text is displayed. The rules of the reference are, it's in brackets, as always, and there is a colon in the middle with the link text on the left side and the name of the placeholder on the right. Let's create an external link as an example. External links are located under E. Again, we click on New to create a placeholder, and let's call it Homepage Unibern. The rest is entered in the metadata M. As link text, we enter Homepage Unibern, and of course, most importantly, the URL of this website, http://www.unibe.ch. Again, it's possible to specify a particular URL and link text for each language. However, if we leave the fields for English and French blank, the German version will be displayed even if English or French are selected. I'm inserting the link by clicking on the right arrow, and voila! The link text Homepage Unibern comes from the metadata, since it is an external link which is symbolized by this arrow here. We could also overwrite the link text here so that the new text is displayed. A short while ago we inserted a new image, but what if we want to show a whole album in some place? First, I'm going back to our images under I, and I'm inserting our A New Test image again to show you something. Oh, by the way, if you want to display this picture bigger, insert a colon here. Let's tackle the album now. There is one already, but let's create a new one by clicking on New. We want to name it Album 2, but wait, before I create the album, and this is very important, I use this button here to switch to album mode. If we forgot to do that, we'd have to start over and upload a single image again, which we don't want to. Only now do we create the album and name it Album 2. There it is, with a lowercase a on a blue background, which means it is an album, enabling us to present several pictures in the same spot. I'm clicking on U for upload and upload the first image. Now, this box allows me to upload as many pictures as I want. So this is our album, consisting of 3 images. Again, you could insert the whole thing the classic way, not by using the arrow, but the keyboard. Oops, I clicked the wrong place. You know, we want to insert our album too, so I change over and here it is already. That's the way it looks. The first image is displayed, and it says total of 3 images. Now again, you can enter a caption in the metadata. First, the alt text for the blind visitors. Then, a short caption that goes below the small image. Last, the long caption shown when the picture is displayed, scaled up. I'm saving that, and you see our short caption here. Then I'm saving the whole thing up here, and click on P to see the live website. And here's our little album. Clicking on it enlarges the whole thing. The first image of 3 is displayed along with a long caption, and you can browse through the album here. I am closing the live page. Even with albums, you can put a colon in front to enlarge the thumbnail. The second colon in front of the album adds a scroll bar. I'm saving and go to the live page via P. It's clear to see the result of the 2 colons. Again, you can enlarge the pictures by clicking on them. The conventional version is still working. I'm closing the live page. Let me now delete everything on our test page, and let us consider a few formats. What we already know is the main heading format. The main heading is entered between 4 pairs of brackets, subheadings between 3, and sub-subheadings between 2. Here, you can just enter your text. If you want, you can type the brackets manually. Next, some text would be entered here. Now, let us look at the abbreviation functionality, which comes in handy in case you use abbreviations. Here, for example, the abbreviation LMS. Replace the shortcut between the tags AB and /AB. LMS is to stand for Learning Management System. Let's add some text around it. In the preview, you can see what it looks like. Only the shortcut appears, but on mouse over, the complete term appears. Acronyms and initialisms are both abbreviations. The difference is that initialisms are spelled out like LMS, while acronyms are pronounced as words, for example, NATO. Let's look at an example already stored here. ROM, meaning read-only memory, an acronym. Accordingly, it is spoken as ROM rather than ROM, and therefore its tag is not AB, but AC, which tells the system to read it to blind visitors as an acronym. Let us now look briefly at the publicity status. Here you can define whether a page is publicly accessible or not. It can be switched offline, which means no one can access it. In addition, you can provide a page with a login. Here, for example, there is a user named Peter, and his password is 1234. Now you can only access this page by logging in as Peter, or with your CMS administrator login. If you now want to test this newly created login, you will need to open another browser. Otherwise, you won't notice anything because you are already logged in as administrator. You can create further logins. Let's add Hans as a username with the password "let me in." Logins must be prefixed with a question mark. Username and password are separated with a colon, and the line is terminated with a semicolon. All of this can be found under I in Publicity Status. Very well. There are other forms and templates. For example, you can insert complete forms. Once it's in the editor, you can edit to your liking. What do you need to know regarding forms? One thing is that enter fields that are mandatory must be named, but the name must be suffixed with an underscore, followed by mandatory. That way you are telling the system to disable saving the form as long as this field remains empty. You have to add the asterisk in the label yourself that tells the user that filling in the field is mandatory. When someone fills out such a form, you get the completed form as an email to the address you specify here in the field named our email. Not only do you get it by email, the form is also saved in the special features. You can find it under form data. Currently, there is nothing there, but the forms sent would be listed here, and you could open them easily in Excel. Additionally, you can see that in the special functions there is a so-called fixed title. What is it? Each page is assigned a title for the search engines. If you want to have something unchanging at the end of a title, you define it here. The title of each page is up here at M. Currently, I'm here on a new test page. I'm defining a title here, saving, and surfing to the live page by clicking on P. That's the way it looks now. Here, you see the title, my test page, and then to the right of it, the fixed part, space permitting. What else is there in these special features? You can define the page to be your home page. In our case, it is philosophy. Whatever it is, the home page is marked in your repository with an arrow. So, visitors surfing to the general address of your website, in this case u5.unib.ch, will directly see the home page you defined, in this example, the page Philosophy. You can set the appearance of the lists using these radio buttons. Let's go to the pictures via I, and let's select the right P button. Now you see that the thumbnails are displayed. So this is P for preview on and off. The S is to sort alphabetically or by date. By sorting by date, you get the newest date at the top and ordered alphabetically. F denotes the filter option. If turned on, not all the images are displayed, only those that are unlinked images, that is, placeholders or images that are linked on the page which is currently open in the editor. Once the filter is set back on the left, again, everything is displayed. Let's look at these small letters here. R stands for rename, L for localize. When you click on it, it shows you where the selected item is used and on which pages. Incidentally, rename renames only the placeholder. All references to the pages are updated so as not to produce dead links. You can also copy something with C, a placeholder, or its contents. D deletes the placeholder and its contents. If the concerned object is still referenced anywhere, deleting its reference may create dead links. The metadata you already know, likewise U for file upload. Next, these buttons appear. A stands for account, where you can change your password or manage users, provided you have the required rights. If you want to enable somebody to participate in the system, invite him or her by entering his or her email address and click Send. This person will get an email containing his or her login data. What we have not looked at yet is how to link to a page and how to manage the main navigation. To that end, I'm going back to P to my pages, but I'm still on a new test page. So let's delete everything. Now, suppose you want an internal link to philosophy on your page, a new test page. You can paste this link here on the page as a normal reference the way you already know it. Right of the colon, the reference associated with the placeholder, and left of the colon, a possible link text that can overwrite the default link text. Of course, the default link text is defined in the metadata of philosophy. Since these are pages, the metadata are not to be found under M. Okay, let's save this, and now let's click on the name. So here we are on the philosophy page. Its metadata are to be found, in fact, under this M, since there is none down below. This title here is at the same time the standard link text used in internal links. I'm returning to a new test page. You can see the title here, and here at the top, left of the colon, the title or link text can be overwritten. Now let us look at the active email addresses. For instance, we have this email address, and of course you can immediately see that this one is not active, that is, not selectable. How do you do that? Let's delete the address. Here too, an external link to this address has to be created. Click on New and enter a name. So now we have a placeholder. There it is, and in its metadata we can now assign to it the email address as the link text and URL. We need to prefix the address with mail to : without any space. There is no need for an alt text, so we are saving the whole thing. We add this reference by clicking on the right arrow, and now we can see on the left that the email address is now active. Also, there is no need for overwriting the link text, so we can leave it or delete it. So much for the active email addresses. They are not especially protected because nowadays that is no longer necessary and neither advisable, since the robots collecting mail addresses can penetrate the walls around protected passwords easily unless they are protected by a CAPTCHA test. Let us now look at the main navigation. The main navigation is actually an ordinary page. Here it is, marked with an H, which stands for hidden, because it's not accessible. I won't save it at this time. Let's look at the syntax. The navigation level is indicated by one or more hash signs, also known as # or number sign. A single hash indicates a top-level menu item, while 2 hash signs indicate the first sub-level, etc. Let's check it out, and we can see that it's true. As usual, to the right of the colon is the reference link, which must match the placeholder name of the page. To the left of the colon, the text that the user will see as menu item. The difference in this case between the big and the small p is rather small. There is something special about this second level of navigation, in that there is something that is invisible to the user and only working in the background. This has the advantage that the highlighting and the mechanics of the navigation are still correct. So, a menu can have blind or hidden items. Then there's HCI Science, with even 3 navigation sub-items. I'm clicking on this for a demo, and you see that here the items are visible, and at the same time the content is loaded. Team 2 has 2 sub-items in the central area, but only one is visible because the first one is blind. Let me go to the map now and click on Contact Form. Now I'm on the navigation sub-item Contact Form, even though for the visitor it doesn't exist. The effect is that on the left side of the navigation the word Team remains bold and the navigation item remains expanded. If that weren't the case, some context would be lost. The navigation is as simple as that. You just link pages created earlier on 3 levels in the menu hierarchy.